Welcome to another episode of Mr. Jinks and Home Distance Learning. We're in week 7, guys. I don't know if you guys are feeling like that, but man, this has been a long stretch, and I'm proud of each of you for taking the time and the patience to get through this. You have made it so far. We're going to make it until this thing gets back into a new situation for us. Today, scholars will be able to define symbols and symbolism. One of the favorite topics of mine. I am into making film and video and pictures. We think in pictures. So, this is a great way to dive into what actual pictures and meanings of symbols are actually saying to us. A picture speaks 1,000 words, a symbol may speak 1,000,000. So, here is where we are diving into that today. Scholars will be able to explain the literal and figurative meanings of symbols and in our previous novels. So we're going to take a look at some of the books that we've already read, take a look at some symbols that you're probably familiar with, and now we see the progression of what we've done all year with symbols and symbolism. Scholars will be able to describe the different motivations of the boys on their trip up the mountain. So we're going to be finishing chapter 6, and we will be reading the second half of that. I'll also have a recording of the audiobook and the PDF in a second video. Please take a look at that. The do now, same as usual. Our word of the day is relentless, or yesterday's word is relentless. So you're going to do the do now. Our today's word is mutinous. Mutinous. The mutants, the X-Men, mutinous. Does it always have to have a negative connotation, or does it have a positive, or is it somewhere in between? It means showing by your behavior or appearance that you don't want to obey someone. So you're causing a mutiny. What does that mean? Look it up. Here's your definition. You can expand on it if you'd like. Do your quick hits. Then, because this is a developing word, we want to fill in these boxes with synonyms. Mutinous is not. Okay, once you now know the definition of what this is, now you're going to further expand on that word and fill in the boxes with a picture described in words of what mutinous means. It is similar to rebellious because both involve rejecting authority, but different because mutinous involves directly challenging authority and taking action. So it's a little bit different. So, what are the subtleties of rebellious and mutinous? Okay, we have the picture speaking 1,000 words here. What's happening in that picture? Symbols and symbolism. A symbol is a person, place, or thing, person, place, thing, or idea that what? I'm going to fill in the blanks for you. That represents something beyond its literal meaning. Okay, so there are literal and figurative. So we're going to look at the difference between literal and figurative language today. And we've already dealt with a lot of it, as you're going to see. We're going to just review some of the old novels today. Okay, here's an example. Literal is this ring made out of gold. Figuratively, this ring represents marriage. Okay, so literally, it's an actual ring, but the ring represents that unity, which is multi-layered in its conceptualization. This is a symbol that you're all familiar with. I want you to describe what that is, and by answering those questions. Symbolism and symbols in literature. Symbolism in literature technique where a writer uses a person, place, or thing or action to represent something beyond its literal meaning. So read this. This gives you a definition. I filled it in for you. We would have done something a little bit different in class, but I want you to really understand the meaning. So as you're reading, you are looking for these. That's why we go through this process. It's not just for grades or parents or teachers. It's for you to get a better, deeper meaning and understanding of some of the enjoyable things you may read. Sharpen your skills. Everybody wants sharp skills. This is how you get them. Okay, so here's an example: the apple from the giver. What did it symbolize, literally and figuratively? Another tongue twister. But you guys are going to give us a description and its meaning. What does the symbol of the apple of the giver? So here's a little sampler of an exemplar answer of what you could write, but you want to develop that as we go along. So we're looking at the house plant in the raisin of the sun. We're looking at beneath his hair from a raisin in the sun. We're also looking at, that's it. Okay, so we're just looking at those three. So you're going to give a description. They had a specific meaning in each of the novels that we've read so far. And what was the other novel? The about uh, the indigenous Native American or Indian, the discrepancy, Diary of a True Indian, if I can recall the name correctly. So you think of some symbolism in that book as well. Okay, then we're reading in the PDF pages 116 to 124. This is the second half of chapter 6. I'm going to put a video in there for you, so make sure that you check that out. And again, it's just so that you get a smooth flow. Even if you're a good reader, it's helpful to hear someone else read sometimes, and it's like a play. Literally, you just can't see the actors, but you can feel. This is what reading does for you. It actually puts the pictures in your mind, and you're walking through a book. And then to do the after reading questions, and that will be it. Okay, guys. So do your best. Take your time. Be thorough with your answers. Be creative. If you have any questions, you're checking into our office hours. They're 2 o'clock every day. Excuse me. But I'm often available beyond that, and I have office hours at 9 a.m. at 10, anytime during the day. Just get in touch with me. Text me or get online. Check into my page. If you have any questions, other than that, peace arrivederci. I'm out the door.